I had a moment of enlightenment, and then I wanted to share it with other people, each one teach one. So I was listening to Eckhart Tolle, and he was talking about collective consciousness. And in his teaching, he was saying that consciousness transcends time and space. That in basic human thought process, we need to qualify and quantify things in order to make it more palatable. But when you're seeking higher levels of consciousness, you have to look past that. You can't just say, well, the consciousness happens in my home or when I go to the mountains or within the next 10 years, because it's boundaryless. And as you all know, people need to qualify and quantify things to make it make sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are in a position in your life where you're trying to make change and you're trying to see things differently, you're trying to grow, you're trying to develop life skills, you have to be able to think outside of the box. And this made me think about people who are ist, that believe in all the isms. People who gaslight, even people who have like shitty dispositions, who always need to be right and are forceful. For people who fall into that category, there's really no logic in thinking that way. So it doesn't matter if you're someone who has 3 PhDs or you never finished high school. Compartmentalizing on something that doesn't actually bear logic prevents you from reaching higher levels of consciousness. I've said it before, people make the assumption that racism, all isms, came from a place of sanity. So when people's needs to believe what they believe, they remove themselves from the concept of things being boundaryless, being timeless, because that just doesn't make sense. Being boundaryless and timeless is not logical. But if we are a part of a collectiveness where we're all connected, trees, birds, human beings, the way our blood pumps through our body, the stars, the universe, you can't connect to a higher sense of self and connect to the rest of the consciousness if you're holding on to identities that form illogical thought processes. People who are ist, who believe in isms, it's not logical. People will make that a part of their identity. A good example of that is people who are politically charged or people who believe in those ideas of the woke movement is out to get us. No, being awake is being conscious of things that are boundaryless. And in order for them to believe their religious background, the way they were raised and socialized, they have to stay within those boundaries. And that type of stuff makes people feel really uncomfortable because it makes them have to step away from what they identify as. And even as annoying as that dog is, it's a part of the consciousness. And for those people who are not willing to accept that, they will remain ist that believe in isms. They will continue to be gaslighters and crotchety people. But that shouldn't stop you from reaching that highest level of consciousness. Be boundaryless.